The future of robotic warfare is drones that carry many smaller drones. Today, Ukraine is a world leader in developing this technology, writes military analyst David Axe in the Telegraph. As a clear demonstration of the progress the Ukrainians have made in this direction, the expert recalls the raid by Ukrainian naval drones on the Boyko rigs in the Black Sea in early December. During the war, the Ukrainians have repeatedly struck these gas platforms, which the Russians use as observation posts. But the December attack was truly remarkable for one important aspect: the first known use of a naval drone as a carrier for FPV drones. Footage of the raid released by the Ukrainian military clearly shows small drones flying out of the belly of a naval drone and successfully hitting Russian surveillance equipment and the occupiers themselves. And in early January, new evidence emerged of the weapon's successful use. Ukrainian drone carriers attacked Russian air defenses and other targets along the coast north of Crimea, setting at least 3 Russian vehicles ablaze. It's an impressive development that requires robust, waterproof equipment, reliable satellite communications, and teams of skilled operators who separately control the boats and their drones. Incredibly, the current combination, a drone boat containing FPV drones, may be just the beginning, writes David Axe. The analyst recalled that the Ukrainians already have so-called drone mothers, large unmanned aerial vehicles capable of carrying smaller kamikaze drones, and these drone mothers can be transported by unmanned sea boats so that the drone mother can then fly into a Russian-controlled water area or territory and release attack FPV drones there. This will allow hitting Russian targets in Crimea far from the shore. And yes, it will be a drone that is launched from a drone, or a drone carrier, Axe concludes. As media reported, Ukrainian specialists have created a drone controlled via optical fiber, which is capable of flying over a distance of more than 41 kilometers. It is expected that such drones will soon be produced at a rate of 1,000 units per month. We also reported that the US is developing a missile bomb with a range of 453 kilometers for the Ukrainian armed forces. Little is known about this bomb now, but it should be made next year.
The Israeli military said on Wednesday that its combat troops that fought in the Jabalia area for weeks has left the Gaza Strip. According to Associated Press, it released video it said showed the departure of Javadi Brigade troops from the Gaza Strip. The truce, now in its 4th day, is supposed to bring calm to the war-battered Gaza for at least 6 weeks and see 33 Hamas-held hostages released in return for hundreds of Palestinians imprisoned by Israel. The war began when Hamas-led militants stormed into Israel on October 7, 2023, killing some 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and abducting around 250. Around 100 hostages still remain in Gaza, after the rest were released, rescued, or their bodies were recovered. Israel's military campaign has killed over 47,000 Palestinians in Gaza, according to local health authorities, who say women and children make up more than half of the fatalities but do not say how many of the dead were fighters. Israel says it killed over 17,000 militants, without providing evidence.
Голосуй.
Israeli armored vehicles and ambulances were seen in the streets of Jenin, in the occupied West Bank on Thursday. According to Associated Press, in the days since a fragile ceasefire took hold in the Gaza Strip, Israel has launched a major military operation in the occupied West Bank, and suspected Jewish settlers have rampaged through 2 Palestinian towns. The violence comes as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces domestic pressure from his far-right allies after agreeing to the truce and hostage prisoner exchange with the Hamas militant group. On Thursday, Israeli forces killed 2 Palestinian militants who carried out a deadly attack on a bus in the West Bank earlier this month. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has rescinded the Biden administration's sanctions against Israelis accused of violence in the territory. At least 9 Palestinians were killed on Tuesday, including a 16-year-old, and 40 were wounded, the Palestinian Health Ministry said. The military said its forces carried out airstrikes and dismantled roadside bombs and hit 10 militants, though it was not clear what that meant. The Palestinians view such operations and the expansion of settlements as ways of cementing Israeli control over the territory, where 3 million Palestinians live under seemingly open-ended Israeli military rule, with the Western-backed Palestinian Authority administering cities and towns.
فرضه على مخيم جنين، وتحديدا نتحدث عن أنه ليس هناك اشتباكات مسلحة داخل المخيم.